Welcome to the Alberta Real Estate Tour podcast. I'm your host, Raman from Alberta Real Estate School. Today, we'll take a look at the top 5 reasons why people fail the Alberta Real Estate exam. So let's dive in. Number 1, inadequate preparation. So this exam is not overly complicated, but it is an exam, and therefore you do need to study for it. Sometimes I see people will just go write the exam thinking that they already know enough about the business, so they should be able to wing it. However, this is not an exam that you can wing. There are some important concepts that you need to understand, and even if you have been working in the real estate industry, there are things that you need to understand, like the Real Estate Act, the different rules and regulations. All of these things are things that we do not use in our day-to-day practice. So you do have to study for the exam. And it's not sufficient to just go through the activities and quizzes and expect to pass the exam. You do need to have a clear understanding of the concepts. So I do highly recommend that you actually study for the exam and then go through your activities and quizzes. Make sure you have all your concepts clearly understood before you go write the exam. So reason number 1 is inadequate preparation, and this is why some people may fail the RECA exam. Next one is studying without a plan. A lot of times people will come into this profession and they do not understand what it all entails, and they just dive into the books without really coming up with a plan. Now, if you have been studying for the RECA exams, you understand that there are a lot of units. And if you have purchased the manuals, you will see that there is a ton of information that you have to go through before you can write your exam. So make sure you actually have a plan in place in order to attempt the exam. If you just get into the books and dive in without any kind of a plan, you may find that you will spend a lot of time and effort into the first 2 or 3 units, and then you run out of steam. So it's better to take a look at what the important units are and plan accordingly. You may also want to take certain amount of time every week in order to study, because I find that a lot of people will just jump in as soon as they enroll into the exam, and then a few weeks later they are basically out of it. Things come in, life gets in the way, people get busy, they have other job, kids, other obligations, and all of a sudden you forget that you are preparing for an exam, or you keep putting it off, and then before you know it, your time is up. So make sure before you dive into this, you create a study plan. Next reason is waiting too long before taking the exam. Now, I've seen some people who just jump right into the exam. They quickly go through their online material and go write the exam without adequate preparation. However, I have also seen students who will actually wait too long. So they fall victims to analysis paralysis. They study, they will do all their activities, they understand the concept, and then they just prepare and prepare and prepare. The problem with that is the longer you take, the higher the chances that you will forget the stuff that you have learned. So if you're taking too long going through your different units, by the time you get to unit 10, you may forget what was in unit 1. So it's very important that you do allow adequate amount of time for preparation, but on the other hand, do not take too long. Once you understand the concept, you have gone through all the materials, just book your exam and go write it. Reason number 4, not understanding what will be on the exam. Now, I've been doing a lot of videos on this topic of what will be on the exam. We will link to some of these videos, so make sure you understand what will be on the exam. So some of the things you want to pay attention to is, first of all, The exam will be multiple choice questions. So you don't really need to memorize anything. As long as you understand the concepts, you will be okay because the answers will be right in front of you. So you just need to pick the correct answer, or you need to pick the answer that's not correct depending on what they're asking you. However, there are no essay questions, so you do not need to memorize anything. Also, the exam is 3 hours long, so you have plenty of time to complete everything. Also, make sure you understand the units that are more important versus the ones that are not, so that you spend enough time on the more important units versus the ones that do not carry a lot of marks. Like I said, I have done multiple videos on this topic, so make sure you look in the description and go check out these videos. Reason number 5, not understanding the distribution of marks. So when you go online to do your recon course material, before you get started, there is a distribution of marks. They tell you exactly what percentage of marks will be from that particular unit. For example, if you're doing fundamentals of real estate, we know that unit 2 is worth a lot of marks. So make sure you're paying more attention to that unit. Consumer relationship, that unit is worth a lot of marks. Make sure you cover that unit properly. So you want to spend more time on units that are more important and carry more marks versus units that do not carry too many marks, like unit 1. So have a plan to tackle the units appropriately. So let's take a look at some of the reasons that people fail the Alberta real estate exams. So first one will be inadequate preparation. This is not an easy exam, but then again, it's not an overly complicated exam either. So make sure you allow yourself enough time to understand the concepts and properly prepare for the exams before you go write them. Second one is studying without a plan. Before you dive into the material, I highly recommend you take some time to actually create a study plan. When you create a study plan, you're actually better prepared to follow through with that, and you'll be able to reach your destination much quicker. Third one is waiting too long before taking the exam. So sometimes I've seen people get into this analysis paralysis thing and they over prepare for the exam. So you do not want to do that. Once you have gone through all the materials, done your activities and quizzes, and you understand the concepts, just go write the exam. You'll be fine. Number 4 is not understanding what will be on the exam. In this case, make sure you completely understand what's on the RECA exam. We have done different videos on that. Make sure you go look at the description and check out those videos as well. But the better you understand the exam, more your comfort level with the exam. So you will go in there comfortable with the exam and you'll be able to at least take that stress off of your mind. And last one here is not understanding the distribution of marks. RECA actually tells you exactly how they are going to mark your exams. So they tell you what percentage of questions will be from each unit. Make sure when you prepare for the exam, you actually pay attention to the distribution of marks, and the units that are more important, you focus on them and you actually spend more time on those. The last one is not understanding the distribution of marks. So before you go write the exam, make sure you understand what units carry more weight, how RECA is distributing your marks. So make sure you pay more attention to the units that carry more marks. So for example, in fundamentals of real estate, unit 2 is very important. It is a heavy unit. This is the stuff you need to understand. So make sure you are paying more attention to the units that are heavier and carry more marks, because that will help you pass the exam. So that's it for today. If you would like some extra help in preparing for your Alberta real estate exam, I invite you to visit www.albertarealestateschool.com, or you can give us a call at 587 936 7779. Good luck with your exam, and I'll see you next time.